Hi, healthy, happy, and hot. Week 3 upper body exercises. This is video number 4. This particular video was for the home gym worksheet I gave you guys. And what that means is it's an upper body workout with a lot of equipment you might find in a home gym. You'll probably be able to do around your home. So I'm going to show you some demonstrations and some modifications. You might see my little black cat, Cash, running around in the video. He likes to help out. He likes to hang out down here with me. So the first exercise on that worksheet is chest press with a bench. So you guys can see my bench here. I'm going to see my little cat underneath. He's so cute. He's kind of naughty, actually. So I've got my barbell over here. I've got 10 pounds on each side. This is pretty light for a chest press, just so you guys know, but I want to just be able to demonstrate things properly to you today. So I'm going to put this up on my bench. So when you do a bench press, this would be a bench that you would use for a bench press, okay? You could also do this on a floor as a modification. If you don't actually have a bench, you could do it from the floor, lying on your back. You could also do it on a step. If you had like a longer step, like an aerobic step, you could do it from there. My little kitty cat's gonna try to jump up here. And the other thing you could do is if you don't have a barbell, you can actually use dumbbells to do the same exercise, okay? So dumbbells are an option as well. But in this case, I'm going to show you a bench press on the bench. Laying back, watch your head. When you come down on that chest press, you want it to come right down at the center of your chest. So you'll align that bar. This particular bench has a pretty wide grip, but you're just going to come straight up. And then I like to bring my hands in just a little bit. Hold it here. I'm going to go straight down and then push up. It's that 2-2 count. So down for 2, inhale. Up for 2, exhale. Down for 2. Up for 2. My little challenge bars are getting in the way. So that's your bench press, guys. Move my hands out just slightly so I can pinch my fingers. And that's bench press. You'll see bench presses like that in gyms all around, just about any gym you'll go into. This little bench here, I think I bought it for $80 at Walmart a couple of years ago. So it's pretty basic, but it's possible to have that at home. Exercise number 2, bent over rows. Okay. So a bent over row using a barbell. I demonstrated in the dumbbell video that you also can do bent over rows with dumbbells. So that's a modification and an option. But I'm going to take this off the bar. Okay, again, this is the bar itself doesn't really weigh, I bet it weighs maybe 5 pounds. The discs I have on each side weigh 10 pounds each. So this isn't a real heavy bar, so I can move this around pretty easily. But a bent over row with a barbell is I'm going to bend my knees. You can see I hinge at the waist. I've got a nice flat back. I'm going to look straight out in front of me, and then I'm going to row by pulling up. And I'm pulling up right to my sternum. So I'm basically between the lower part of my breast here, and my belly button is here, but I'm pulling right in the middle to my sternum. Okay, so I'm here. Watch the position of my arms. I pull straight up. My elbows go straight back and down. And it's that 2-2 count. 1, 2. 1, 2. Exhale on exertion if you want to see it from the front. I'm here. Pull up and pull back. And actually, I could probably do another 20 pounds on each side of this. This is a exercise because it's working your back, and your back tends to be pretty strong. You could lift heavier weight than this, so to start out. Okay, guys, and I actually showed really bad form right there. This is pretty light, so it's easy for me, but you see when I set it down there, I bent over. You should never do that to set down weights. You should always use your legs. So set it down here and then come up. I'm sorry, that was a really bad example. Okay, the third exercise on our home gym is dumbbell bicep curl to shoulder press, okay? So I'm going to use, this would be at probably 12 to 15 pounds would be a normal weight for me to use. So you might want to start out if you're new with like 5 to 8 pounds. I'd say 10 to 12 pounds is like a medium range. And then 12, 15 on up, 20 pounds is getting into a pretty heavy weight. So this is 2 exercises in one. You remember with these bicep curls, I keep my elbows, they're not pinched into my sides. There's just a little bit of space. I'm going to curl the bicep all the way up to the shoulder, turn my arms, and go up to a shoulder press. Sorry, guys. This camera's a little tougher. So 2 exercises in one here. Patient with my camera angles. Okay, so one more time. It's bicep curl, all the way up to the shoulders, turn, up for a shoulder press, and down, turn back in, and take it back down for that bicep curl. So up, turn, shoulder press, and down. 2 exercises in one. This is a pretty efficient exercise. If you're looking at it from the side, I want you to notice I'm not rocking to get that bicep curl on. If you're having to do this to get the weight up, it means the weight's too heavy for you, okay? So you should be able to just cleanly lift it, turn it out, up, and down. Same thing, if I have to really wrench to get that up, it's too heavy. You want to be able to do 10 reps of that exercise, okay? The lighter the weight, the easier it will be. Okay, guys, so round 2, those 3 exercises I just showed you, you'll do 10 reps of each, 1 set, a second set of 10 reps of each, and a third set of 10 reps of each, and then you'll move on to the second round, which are those middle 3 exercises. Excuse me, I'm still recovering from my cough. The next one is a dumbbell bent over lateral rear delt raise. Wow, is that a mouthful? Flies are what these called, okay? I did this actually in the dumbbell exercise, so I'll just real quickly, I'm going to take little 5-pounders here, bend over at that waist, remember, bend the knees, hinge at the waist, flat back, and then you come up and out. So if you see it from the side, it's here. This is a back exercise. I'm pinching those shoulder blades together, looking straight out in front of me. If you want to see it from the front, here, you can see I raise up 2 shoulder height and back down, 2 count. Up for 2, down for 2. Okay, third exercise is an incline bench press dumbbell fly. So this was a fly, but it's a reverse fly, which means the motion is coming up and I'm pinching at the back. This one, an incline bench dumbbell fly, is actually going to be more, it's going to be the same movement, but it's going to be a chest exercise. My chest is actually going to be doing the work. So if you get an incline bench press exercise, there are benches at gyms that are actually set at an incline. It's more like a chair with like a 3/4 angle sitting back. My bench here converts into one, so I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see this is a flat bench press. To make it an incline, I'm going to pull the bench up, place the bar. It'll be simpler with one at the gym. It'll be much easier to do. It'll probably just be a little tab down below that you pull and then it'll sit up. But this is my little janky Walmart one, which I am so happy with. It's been a great investment. Okay, so now I have an incline bench, and I'm going to do incline flies. So flies, I'm going to use 8 pounds. Again, you can start anywhere 3 to 5 pounds. You might be able to do 12 to 15 if you already have some strength and have been lifting. But basically, I'm going to lay back, bring those dumbbells straight up above me, make sure my abs are tight, and then I'm going to fly. It's going to come out and in. My elbows stay a little bit bent, but I'm going straight out above me and straight down. That 2-2 count. Down for 2, up for 2, and exhale. Down for 2, up for 2, and exhale. You can see when I get down to the bottom here, I don't go lower than my shoulder height. I keep the weights here, I stop here, and then I come up. Okay? So any incline exercises with a bench, that's what they're referring to with your bench. Okay, guys, what's next? Kettlebell single arm clean to press. So clean to press is a pretty common exercise that's offered in weight training. I will say that I was doing very heavy clean to presses at the end of my fitness challenge when I was attempting to win a national competition. And I was using barbells, which I pointed out to you guys, the big barbell. and I was clean depressing, you pull it here and you push up. And that's how I got a shoulder injury. It was with really, really heavy weight. So I'm going to show you two options for a clean depress, but I'm encouraging you all to use a lighter weight with this. If you ever get to the point where you're going to do clean presses with heavier weight, I really suggest you have a partner and or a trainer or a coach or someone who can really help you with form on this one, because this is an easy one to not do great form. So on the sheet, it shows it with a kettlebell. I'm going to show you the option with a kettlebell, with a barbell, and with a dumbbell. So since it says kettlebell, let's start with that. I'm just going to use a 10-pounder. This is not a heavy weight. Truth be known, when I did this exercise normally, I would use much more than 10 pounds. For a beginner, I would start with something more like 5 pounds and make sure that you're working your way up once you get the form down really well, okay? So clean to press looks like this. This is going to be a hard one to show because you're going to need to see me from toes to fingertips. So I'm going to have to get way back here. Okay, my little tiny room. Okay, guys, so when you do this clean to press, you're doing one arm. So my left arm's out. This helps me balance. My right arm goes right down in front of me in between my knees. And as I come up, I stay close to my legs, and the motion comes up, and I flip the kettlebell back. So you can see it was here, and I rotate it back, okay? So through my shoulders and up. That's a clean to press. If I do it on the left side, it's here and up. Here and up. One more time, here and up, okay? I can do that. I don't have to use a kettlebell. I could use, let's say I wanted to do it with dumbbells. So the same thing. The only thing I'm not going to have now is that flip motion. So I'm here and up. This is actually a little bit easier than using a kettlebell, quite honestly, because you don't have that flipping motion. So when you're clean to press, usually it's a pretty heavy weight. You might have a little bit of a jump. And if you see me as I'm sitting back, I sit back, my knees aren't out over my toes. We've talked about that many times. I get back where you can see me. So I sit here and up. Sit here and up, okay? So the motion of a clean to press is from down low, pull through here, and then up. That's the full motion in slow motion. And just so you have it, guys, here is a clean press with a barbell, okay? You'll see some people, advanced lifters, who are doing this with very heavy weight. You don't need to do that. I want you to get through your 10 reps, feel a little bit fatigued towards those last two, get through 3 sets of them. That's your goal, whatever weight that is for you. But if you want to see a clean press, I'm going to go down. You can see I stay close to my shins. I'm going to come up, flip it up. You see how I got that weight here, and now I'm holding it just at my chest, and then up. Bring that down. Do it again. Clean to press. Okay, if you want to see that to the side, so you can see how I sit back, clean, flip it up, straight up, and down. All right? Those are really great exercises. They'll get your heart rate up too. So remember, we talked about letting your heart rate get down before you move on to your next set. So those were 3 exercises that I just showed you. That's your second round. Do 3 sets of those. Remember that rest in between each set, each of the 3 exercises. You want to get your heart rate back down to zone 1, zone 2 before you move on to your next set, if you have time. Okay, guys, 1 arm barbell rows. This is our last round of 3 exercises. 1 arm barbell rows, again, using a barbell. Remember, this is pretty lightweight, so it's about 25 pounds max. So what you want to do with this is you're basically going to use this as a pulley. And do they show it? They do show it between the legs. So basically what you want to do is you want to find a place where you can set the tip of this up against something for support. So I have these plastic baseboards. So I'm going to set the edge up against the edge of the wall where it meets the carpet. You have 2 options here. They show it on there with it between your legs. I'm doing that sit back, hinged at the waist, and 1 arm at a time, I'm pulling up and down. It's a row. Now, this is really lightweight, and this exercise is actually meant to be done with heavier weight. So I highly suggest adding heavier weight if it feels really, really easy. Because this again is a row, which is a back exercise, a lat exercise. It's what works that bra fat area. Now remember, we can't lose fat in our back around the bra fat without diet and nutrition. But we can tone the area by doing these exercises, okay? In addition, weightlifting gives us afterburn, which means weightlifting itself does help us burn fat long after we've done the actual exercise. So, option to keep it between the legs when you're doing this, switch arms. I actually prefer to do this exercise with it on the outside of my body. So, I do that same motion. I'm sitting back, knees aren't coming out over the toes. I let it come down, and then I pull up, and I'm rowing. You can't see this arm very well, but I'll switch. So I do 10 on that side, and then I do 10 on this side, and that's one set, so 10 on each arm. I pull, and remember, my lats, my back, are what's supposed to be doing it here. I'm not moving up and down while I'm doing it. I'm staying right in the same spot, looking forward, and pulling up and squeezing. Okay? Renegade rows, I actually showed these in the dumbbell video. That's where you're at the top of a plank, using weight. Show this really quickly. I did show it in the other video. I'll use 10 pounders here. I'm going to show it from the front actually. So I'm planked here. My butt is down. This is a different view than what I showed in the other video. My feet are just, can you see where my feet are? Here's one. Here's one. So I have a little space. They're like in line with my shoulders. Hold it here. Pull up and row. Pull up and row. Okay, alternating sides. If it's too difficult, you can see I just put my knees down. I stay in that position. I actually need to show this from the side. Knees are down, but I'm not here, and I'm not arching down this way. I have a nice flat spine. Everything's in alignment, and I row, and I row. And when you can, come up and do them from here. You know what else this works? Abs, baby. So when you're doing that particular exercise, I highly recommend that you try at least your first one. It's a little nerve-wracking. If the weights freak you out, try doing a renegade row, what we just did, but don't use a dumbbell. That lets you have a little bit more grip on the floor, so you might feel a little sturdier. Get used to your core and your balance. Try a few without being modified. See if you can get, how many you can get in. And then when it's just too much, you can modify it. Okay? Last one for this video, guys, is a seated tricep press or an overhead extension. Love these. Okay, so there are benches at the gym, or I could sit on this bench. I'm just going to sit on a step to demonstrate. I will say this particular tricep press, I'm going to demonstrate with a little heavier weight. Okay? So this is a 25-pound weight. I love these weights because I can just shift the discs out and take off 5 pounds. It's awesome. And it's all in one. So when you're doing these overhead presses, you can do these standing as well. This particular one calls for seated. So from a front position, you'll see I'm going to lift the weight straight up and over my head, keeping my elbows close to my ears, okay? So we're here and down. This is a heavy weight for me, guys. Here and down. That 2-2 count. It will be tough for me to get through 10. All right? So that's the exercise. I'm also going to show it to the side so you guys can see my form. Even though I'm seated, I don't want to arch that back, and I definitely don't want to curl it. Nice, flat, straight back. I'll lift it up. Here, elbows tight to my ears, straight down and up. Straight down and up. You don't want movement in the shoulder. I'm rocking a little bit. And actually, I'm glad I did that, because if I start rocking like that, what's happening is the weight's a little bit too heavy. So I should take off, in this case, 2.5 to 5 pounds is how much we go down. in upper body if you feel like the weight is too heavy to get you through 10 reps. Okay, so that's it, guys. That is video number 4. That's a sample home gym workout. Lots of modifications you can do. Really quickly, that one we were just doing, you can do it here standing as well. You can do it at the much lighter weight. You can also do it with one arm. I have to stand back here so you guys can see. So you can actually hold the other elbow to help support and do one arm at a time. Just remember, if you do one arm at a time, you do 10 on one arm, 10 on the other. So here I am. Hi, guys. Okay, awesome. Thank you. One more video. Check it out. You guys will have a whole bunch of modifications and examples of every exercise I've offered you here in the program, and then we can just keep growing and building from there. All right? Thanks. See ya.